Hey guys, in the past few weeks I was able to drive around in a Rivian, an R1T. The specific trim was with the Adventurer package, I believe. And I'm just going to give you a quick walk around of what this thing is and some of my opinions. So one thing to keep in mind is that this car is most definitely a show-off car. So we begin from the front. You have that front that is very impressive. You can fit quite a lot of things, extremely useful. One of the main characteristics of this car is that there's cargo space everywhere. And when I mean everywhere, it's everywhere. So, that's all you have at the front. You have your LED lights, you have your very famous design, and then you have one of the most impressive things, in my opinion, is this thing. This is where you plug the car into. It's going to be, it has multiple connectors depending on which one you are using. Whether it is at home, you use the top pins, and if you're on the road using a supercharger, you use the bottom pins. Every time you press that little button that I showed over there, it just closes out, and then, there you have it. It's impressive to see those 20-inch wheels everywhere you go. I cannot imagine just blowing a tire is going to be like $1,000. So anyways, that's what we have. Massive 275 5521 wheels, pretty crazy. And then we move to the rear end. We have R1T, Rivian, all the classic stuff. Talking more about cargo space, look at this thing. So this is what they call the tunnel. Since you don't have a transmission on the way, that is if this wasn't there, it would be a waste of space. So they turn into more cargo space, which actually ends up being really useful. The hinge and the assembly over there is extremely sturdy, so you can stand on it if you want. You can use it as a step. You can put things on it. It's honestly fantastic. Onto the interior. It's very luxurious, obviously, because you pay quite a bit of money for this thing, but it's also a little bit excessive in my opinion. Some of the materials are, okay. Yeah, some of them, it's certainly better than a Tesla. Sometimes in Teslas, you feel those materials are a little cheap, but it was better quality. You have all your controls for your seat down there. Everything is motorized as you would expect. And you have the perforated leather over here that allows you to have ventilating seats as well as heated seats at the same time. Ventilated seats was something that I wasn't too sure about, but once I actually used it on the road, it was actually fantastic. It's definitely an excessive feature. Obviously, this is a luxurious vehicle, so it's something you don't need in a day-to-day car. But if you're looking for pure luxury, yes, I mean, that was definitely a feature that impressed me. I thought it was going to be useless, and it was way better than that. Here is a feature that I definitely find you just want to impress your friends with this feature. This is a speaker made by Rivian. I tried to find if it was like outsourced by JBL or something like that. I couldn't find any, labels on the speaker itself, but it's really interesting that you can take it out and out of the mid console as easy as that, and that it includes it. It's definitely a weird thing, but at the same time, like we said, this car is made to impress your friends. So if you need a speaker, no problem. You take it out and you use it, and it's a normal speaker. It's Bluetooth connected. The performance is very good. Myriad of features this thing has. My main biggest complaint about this infotainment was the fact that everything is controlled by it. There's absolutely no buttons anywhere that you can find. So it's really, changing the vent direction, changing everything has to deal with the infotainment system. So here you can see just some of the things that you can do. The menu, I was just playing around with it. You can open every door, every hinge, you can change everything from the screen, which is, again, extremely impressive, but not necessarily necessary in a vehicle. You have so many features over here. You can put it on camping mode. You can control all the energy, all the lighting, connectivities, media, maps. I mean, you name it. You can put it in endless modes, if you're off-roading or on the road or whatever the case may be. Really anything. It has really a good visuals. Everything is really easy to understand from the beginning. You use it once or twice, and that's it. That's all you need. You now are used to the entire system, so it's very friendly like that. Like I said, there's definitely complaints on my end because I'm an old school guy. You can't move your vents right away when you're driving, that type of stuff. You have to get into that screen and maybe something just to get used to. This being an electric vehicle has very different things. It's supposed to be a different car, right? Security wise, you can have like really cool features where there's a little figure over there on the screen that if you click it, it shows you who has just videos of like people getting close to your car or something like that. It has motion detector sensors, so it uses that to recognize if anyone is close to your vehicle. Creepy little feature, but at the same time, if you are in a zone where you're not very you don't feel safe, you know, you can go ahead and use this in case anyone damages your car or anything like that, right? You have all your controls over there. You know, the one really nice thing is that this infotainment system actually contains the user's manual embedded in it, and you can quickly just search things. So right there you have the quick links, and then you have a search bar that you can use just to, okay, you have a question about whatever, you just look it up. What else? So this is what I was talking about, the vents. You can only control them by moving like that, which is, in my opinion, probably the most annoying feature of this thing. So you have your vents down there, but you cannot control them physically. You have all your climate controls over there. Turn it on, turn it off. Other than that, I have no complaints about the climate system. It's extremely easy to use. You get used to it. Now, being an electric vehicle, you do have to consider that the more AC you use, the less range you have and things like that. So that just affects things. Over there, that's your quote-unquote dashboard. This is not a touchscreen. This is just a regular display, although a very pretty display. So you can have your maps over there. It tells you how much range you have, how much power you're using, etc. In the interior, there's quite a bit of things to say. You know, plenty of space. I would say it's as bigger as a 4Runner on the inside, minus the third row. And then, and it's very comfortable. Like I said, this is a show-off car, so you have features like this one. Out of nowhere, you can get a flashlight that gets charged in there, and it's actually an extremely bright flashlight. But again, one of those things that you just use just to show off a little bit. You have all your controls on your door. It's like I said, it's very easy to get used to, and in my opinion, those handles that you use on the to open the door are actually significantly friendlier than those of a Tesla. So yeah, that's kind of some of the features that you have. You have like all those quirky things where you like open the tailgate. You know, all of that stuff is automatic. Move it right over there with that button if you have your key close, and then that little button you use to open that tunnel that we talked about. We took this on a road trip, and we had to take quite a bit of luggage. And it was fantastic because, you know, we threw things in that tunnel, we threw things in the bed, we threw things at the back. Like, there was plenty of space for us. So that's how it feels to be on a Rivian. On the good notes, I have the infotainment system. It's really easy to use, minus those complaints I had earlier. But other than that, it's impressive, all the technology that is into this vehicle, you know. And then my main complaints are, number one, the charging. It's expensive to charge them. I think we spent like $68 to get like 150 miles or something like that. It's not the cheapest thing in the world. But other than that, yeah, some of the lack of buttons and lack of things, you know, it makes it a little bit inconvenient. When you talk about simplicity, I think Rivian might have gone a little too far with that concept of simplicity. But other than that, it's as you expect, a very fast vehicle and a very comfortable vehicle. Leave down in the comments below if you guys think this car is worth its price, because it's quite a hefty price. And we'll get in conversation over there. Keep this in its category as a luxurious vehicle. Is it worth it? Is it cool? Do you like it? You don't like it?